Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is coming to theaters soon on February 17th, 2023, and will be the first film in Phase 5 of Marvel Studios, which leaves fans wondering about the introduction of one said Kang the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors spoke with Fandango about the upcoming superhero film and his character specifically. Kang apparently has issues within himself as well as with the world that surrounds him. In the trailer, it was assumed that Kang is trapped in something very similar to what trapped Scott. Has almost a loss of a normal time flow gotten to the head of the power-hungry conqueror, Kang has been trapped in the quantum realm longer and has had time to create and innovate new technology. But this time it have also gotten to his head and added to his level of discomfort. Majors, in his interview with Fandango, chatted about Kang's power and his motivation in the film. He goes on and quotes, "Where's that power come from? Well, I mean, there's this thing with villains, or with any character, but particularly with villains, that yes, there is a manifestation of power, but the internal power is really the drive. And I think with Kang, something I found so interesting, that his pain and suffering and discomfort and frustration with society and the world, that is so great in him that the friction has allowed him to make himself into the supervillain that you see. Kang will be dealing with frustration and high levels of anxiety when debuting in Ant-Man 3. He's likely have been betrayed in the past and keeps his loyalty list extremely short. Rather than connect and compromise, Kang's distrustful nature leads him down a different path. He attempts to escape the realm that has him imprisoned, and he uses methods and technology to get around his problem. Perhaps we have a variant of Kang that's been so disconnected from the Council of Kangs that he develops a sort of paranoia. Kang also might be constantly comparing himself to other variants and tries to prove a point with his immense power. That enhanced power Kang has comes from something internal and within his own psyche, according to Jonathan Majors. He expanded further on the conflict that gives Kang these big headaches that can drive genius down a mad and sadistic journey. He goes on and quotes, "It is that internal friction that gives him that power. Now how it manifests, stay tuned." But yeah, his heartache is great, and I think it's so massive, he does live up to that title of being the biggest, baddest MCU villain that we've ever had. Reflecting further with some themes of the plot, Jonathan Majors likens the film's theme of time with the characters of the film. The layers of struggle that the Ant-Man family will deal with won't just be with Kang. The concept of time will be central in both Kang's quest and Scott Lang's journey in Ant-Man 3. Majors goes on and quotes, "I think the film is ultimately about our relationship to time as human beings and how time plays within our relationships. Love, friendship, and legacy. That's what the story is about, and every character from Hank to Janet to Scott, all of us are touched by that and deal with the threat or promise of time in a different way." Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania comes out February 17th, 2023, and will be the first film in Phase 5. The film will be our first introduction into Kang the Conqueror, so many expectations are set for this film, and Jonathan Majors looks to dominate in his MCU debut. I personally can't wait to see the immense power Kang has. We've obviously seen a little bit of it in the trailers, we'll get to see even more of it in the movie, and it'll be even expanded on further in Kang Dynasty and all of his other appearances coming up. I predict Kang will be powerful enough to make it out of this film in some capacity. In a recent interview with SFX magazine, Jonathan Majors spoke a little bit more about his character and kind of the humble beginnings that we're going to get to see from his variation in Ant-Man 3. He's going to be the next big bad of the MCU, but Jonathan Majors has a different viewpoint on when it comes down to Kang the Conqueror's overall role and goal in Ant-Man 3. He goes on during the interview and quotes the following, "The thing I really wanted to lean into is that Kang is a human being. Kang's also a very lonely character. We're going to be seeing a lot of him in a lot of different ways going forward, but I really wanted to introduce the humanity and even the vulnerability of this character before he gets to such apocalyptic Avenger scale heights." Before I give my final thoughts, I'd like for you to give this video a thumbs up and hit that like button. Drop a sub and help me get that subscribers number going up. I like this thinking, walk before you run. Make sure you get the character right before you toss all the sprinkles on top, basically is what Jonathan Majors is saying. And I think that having that viewpoint is the right approach because it's very similar to the approach that Marvel Studios had for Thanos. Thanos was introduced in parts here and there, and then we got his origin story technically telling us why he is the way he is. I think in Ant-Man 3 we might get a viewpoint of why Kang thinks the way he does, why he's so paranoid, why he's very distrustful, and overall why he manipulates people to do as well. There is a human side to him, and there's going to be an investigation that we're going to be having within Kang the Conqueror's character throughout the entire movie. We're not going to be very sure of where this character is going to be coming out in the end of the movie. I'm fairly confident that they can get this whole thing right with Kang the Conqueror. He's a human after all, not a big alien space being from a different planet across the universe or anything. Those are just my thoughts on all the quotes that we've heard from Jonathan Majors on the character of Kang, his power, his motivation, the internal conflict that this character is going to be having. I look forward to talking more about Ant-Man 3, and I look forward to the release date in February 17th. Drop your own predictions in the comment section below, and let me know how excited you guys are for Quantumania. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you stuck around long enough to drop a like. If you did subscribe, tell me in the comments below. And share your thoughts on topics like this one and others by clicking on the right side of your screen. I appreciate your support, and this has been Joel from Real Talk Movies. See you soon.